Lesson 1. The French Revolution. Introduction. What was the French Revolution? The French Revolution was a major event that took place in France during the late 18th century. It was a period of radical social and political change marked by the overthrow of the monarchy, the rise of radical political fractions, and the eventual establishment of a republic. Through these lessons, we will learn more about the different events that led up to and occurred during the revolution. Look at the inequalities and why the revolutionists were so passionate about their cause, and the key figures who both led and suffered because of the French Revolution. Peasants' life. Life for peasants in France. Life for peasants in France before the French Revolution was generally characterised by hardship, poverty, and inequality. Peasants made up the majority of the population and were subject to feudal obligations and heavy taxation, which often left them struggling to make ends meet. Peasants were typically tied to the land and worked as agricultural labourers. They were responsible for cultivating the land and providing a portion of the harvest to the landowner, who is usually a noble or a member of the clergy. This system meant that peasants had limited control over their own land and resources. Peasants faced numerous challenges and hardships in their daily lives. They often lived in small, overcrowded cottages with limited access to basic amenities such as clean water and sanitation. Malnutrition and disease were common and life expectancy was relatively low. Peasants were also subject to heavy taxation and feudal obligations. They were required to pay various taxes and fees to the landowner, in addition to the tithe, which was a 10% portion of their income or harvest payable to the church. In addition, they were often required to perform unpaid labour for the landowner, such as maintaining roads or working on the landowner's estate. Social mobility for peasants was extremely limited. They were born into their social status and had little opportunity to improve their circumstances. The nobility and clergy held most of the wealth and power, and peasants had little say in political or economical matters. The economic and social inequalities faced by peasants contributed to the growing discontent and resentment in the years leading up to the French Revolution. Peasants were burdened by heavy taxation and feudal obligations, while the nobility and clergy enjoyed privileges and exemptions. This inequality, combined with other factors such as economic crisis and political unrest, eventually led to the outbreak of the Revolution in 1789. The French Revolution brought about significant changes for peasants in France. Feudal obligations were abolished, and peasants gained more control over their land and resources. However, the revolution also brought about a period of political instability and violence, which brought about new challenges and uncertainties for peasants in the years that followed, and had both positive and negative consequences for them. Royal life. Life for the royals before the French Revolution. Before the French Revolution, the royal family in France lived a lavish and privileged life. They were absolute rulers of the country and enjoyed immense wealth and power. Absolute rulers meant that they had complete control over the government and running of the country. Here are some key aspects of their life. Palace of Versailles. The royal family resided in the opulent Palace of Versailles, located near Paris. It was a symbol of their wealth and grandeur, and the palace was known for its extravagant architecture, vast gardens, and luxurious furnishings. Aristocratic lifestyle. The royal family, along with the nobility, led a high aristocratic lifestyle. They indulged in lavish parties, balls, and entertainment. The courtiers and nobles competed to gain favour with the king and queen, seeking positions at court and hoping for royal patronage. Patronage of the arts. The royal family were great patrons of the arts. They supported renowned artists, musicians, and writers, attracting talent from all over Europe. This led to a flourishing of French culture, with the royal court becoming a hub of artistic creativity. Hunting and outdoor pursuits. Hunting was a popular pastime for the royal family. They'd organise elaborate hunting expeditions, and often in the vast forests surrounding Versailles. Other outdoor activities such as horse riding and boating were also enjoyed by the royal family. Extravagant fashion. The royal family set fashion trends and were known for their extravagant clothing. The Queen Marie Antoinette in particular was famous for her elaborate hairstyles, fashionable gowns, and luxurious accessories. The courtiers and nobles imitated their style, creating a culture of excess and luxury. Court etiquette. The royal court had strict rules of etiquette and protocol. The king and queen were surrounded by a hierarchy of courtiers who followed elaborate rituals and ceremonies. The courtiers competed for the king's attention and sought to gain influence through their proximity to the royal family. Privileges and exemptions. The royal family enjoyed numerous privileges and exemptions. They were exempt from taxes and had access to vast resources and lands. They also had control over the military and judiciary, giving them immense power and authority.